Hello, everybody, and welcome to another training session with C21 Percy Fulton. My name is Katelyn Fulton, and I'm excited to share with you guys some technology that you can be using when you're working with your buyer clients. So, in particular, we are going to be talking all about creating a CMA for your buyers. And in most cases, a CMA, if you didn't know, a CMA is a comparable market analysis. And in most cases, you may see this when working with seller clients, but you can also do this when working with your buyer clients. For instance, if your client wants to put an offer on a property, they want you to send comparables of what's recently sold in the area to make an educated guess on what they think that they should be offering on the property. You may also be using this in situations where maybe the property was listed under market value and you want to do a quick CMA to see if the house is going to sell within your client's range. So for today, we are going to be going through your Hub21 platform. So if you are one of our agents, you have access to this program. All you have to do is log into my.hub21.ca and you're going to head right over to the C21 Present. This is our presentation center. So there's many different presentations that you can create. Some are working with buyers, some are sellers. We've got buyer tours. There's a whole bunch of different uses. So you can do, like I just said, the buyer tour, which is to help find the perfect property for your clients, as well as create a CMA on a potential property. You can do seller ones where you're doing home market evaluations, which is, again, like I mentioned, the traditional CMA. And in another video, I talked all about doing buyer tours. So this is a really great tool that you can send to your buyer clients the night before you do showings to show them exactly what the outline is going to look when you're taking them out to go see some property. So if you haven't seen that video yet, head on over to the buyer tour video on our YouTube channel, and hopefully you can follow through with that. But for today's purpose, we are going to click on the buyers. There's different templates that you guys are going to see. So there's going to be no template. We have created some templates within the brokerage. You can either do one that is just the CMA, or you can also include one that also has a full C21 buyer's presentation. So depending on where you're meeting the client, if this is the first initial meeting that you're doing with them, you can create your buyer presentation directly on this, where it talks all about yourself, why they should hire you, and it goes through the whole buying process with them. Or they just have a quick CMA, which is what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to click on default and we are going to click on continue. So today we are going to let's do sample buyer CMA. We're going to click on create. So in that case, you may put like your client's names, you may put the address of the property that you're interested in. So you guys will decide what will go in there. So let's take a look. So you'll see that it is thinking a little bit. And so we're going to pick a property in the Durham region that you guys can take a look at. It is very, very simple. So you have multiple ways that you can do this. You can do it right through the MLS platform, but in order to make it look very beautiful and different, that's why I want you guys to focus on this, just in case you are competing against other agents as well. It just gives you that one-up look to the presentation. So let's say that there's a listing on the market. We are going to click on the MLS code for that property. So in our case, we're going to pick this one. 686. So you can put the address in there, but for today, I'm just going to put in the MLS number. You're going to click import. And what it's doing is right now it's pulling information directly from MLS right onto this platform. So it does take some time. You'll see that it pulled the description, pulls the pictures. If you are working with buyers and you want to take them to drive to that property, you can put where they're starting from, but we're going to skip that for today. You're going to click on continue. And what's going to happen is it's going to pull up a map. So right now it's going to be thinking, it's going to pull up a map of all of the properties in that area. So without you having to hand select all of the properties yourself, this program is extremely skilled, where it's going to map it out and it's going to pull all the comparables here on the side. Very, very awesome tool. So you can see it right over here. This is where the location of the property that I'm interested in evaluating. And here's all of the different comparables as well. Now, because this is a specific townhome complex, I'm going to narrow down the search a little bit and get rid of all of these properties that I know are not going to be direct comparables. So I'm going to click on this button called Draw, and I'm going to do multi-draw so I can map it out. And I'm just going to pick the direct location of where I want the comparables to come from. Okay, so now it just pulled them all up right here, and it pulled it right up on the map there. So I'm going to include ones that are active, and then I'm also going to pick all of the most recent sales as well. So we're going to try to go, this property is a two bed, 3-bathroom property. Most of the units in here are all very similar. So we are going to click on the most recent sales, and all I'm going to do is click the little plus sign. So that means that we are hand selecting these properties. So anything that I think is in that complex in the last couple months, I am going to hand select. So I'm going to just go based back on December all the way to now. Now this is sorting it out by distance. So I'm also just going to make sure that I've got all of the properties that I want. Perfect. And I'm just going to download also based off of the date that it was listed, just to make sure that I'm not missing any more recent sales. Perfect. I'm going to select that one. Now, it is a lot of data as well. So it does take a little bit of time. It's not like super, super, super quick. So you do have to be a little bit patient with it. So now that I have hand selected all of the ones that I like, these ones were recently listed, but they're not in the complex that I want. So what I'm going to do now that I've hand selected all of the ones that I want, I'm going to click on continue. So now it's going to display it so that I have all of the properties all on one page. So we just did the subject property, we just did our search, and now it's picking the top 5. So I would try to keep it to the last 5 sales. I don't think you necessarily need to go too far back. So just pick the last 5 sales for yourself. So what's really great about this platform, it's going to organize the listings by the date that it's sold. And it's also going to show you the different listing summary. So it's going to say on the low end what they all sold for, what the average is of all of the recently sold, as well as the high. So you can see that these properties sell anywhere from about $798 to $910. So when you are giving your clients a guesstimate, this is where you're going to say on the low end this, on the high end they may sell for that. So it will tell you all of these properties have 2 beds, 3 baths. They're all similar square footage, and then you've got the prices here. So once I'm satisfied with all of the listings, then I would do continue. If you do want to add more, then you just go to add more listings and it will bring you back to the map. So we're going to click on next. And then again, it's going to bring up that price category. So it's up to you if you want to actually put in the range that you think that the house is going to go for. So this one will automatically give you a number. So it says based on the average sales, it's going to go right in the middle. So it just picked 881. But depending on the market, prices could be going up, prices could be going down. So instead of picking an actual price that you think your clients could do, I would go based off that low. So on the low end, it may be about 800. On the high end, let's say about 750. And then you're going to click apply. And then you're going to click on continue. So there, you can make like a really nice presentation out of this. It'll do a cover photo for you, a property summary. It'll show you it all on the map. There's a whole bunch of really nice stuff that it's going to do. So you can decide which pages that you want. I like the property summary, the listing location. So it's going to come up with all of the comparables here that you can actually click on and look through the photos, as well as it'll pop it up on the map there. You can do a listing overview, which just has the photos of each listing that, again, you can click on. If you and your clients prefer to do a more side-by-side comparison, you can also match it up side by side and have all the comparables there so you can really compare it, as well as the status comparisons, listing average, so you could see if in that area, if prices have been going up or down, how many days on the market. There's a lot of really great stuff that you can find on here. Now, let's say that you don't want a particular slide. So let's just say this one. This one has no data. So I'm going to click remove. You may want to also this one I'll talk about your pricing strategy. So this was what I chose from 800 to 950. Go down here to the closing costs. So you can actually include some of the closing costs and everything to give your clients an idea of how much money they can be looking into. You'll have to manually input for that. But just for today's sake, I'm going to click on the X to kind of get rid of that page. So this is in the pages. So once I'm done with this, you have a couple of options that you can do with this platform. So you can either view it, and you can view it as a web version, or you can even do PDF. I'm going to do a web version for today. And if you have them in your CRM, you can actually email this directly to them so that they have a copy of it as well. So many different scenarios that you could do when you want to send it over to your clients. Be like, hey, here's all the comparables for the property. This is what I think you should offer on it. And you can go through all these comparisons with them as well. So I'm also going to just there's the send presentation. So you can just click their email address, check that you have their written consent, send them a subject, and then it just kind of sends it as if it's an email. So that's the option if you want to directly email it through the platform, or you can do right through the present. So I'm going to try, I probably have too many videos open at this point, but I'm going to try to do the print as well. Perfect. And we're just going to hang out for a little bit while it's editing for us. It does take some time for it to think a little bit. Perfect. So here's the buyer presentation. So if you are going to send it in a link, you would just copy this link, put it in an email, and send it right over to them. And you would just scroll right down. So it's going to have the cover photo. It will have the subject property as well right there. And then exactly what I just went through with you guys. So it's going to have a really nice template. It'll have a map. And what's great about it is you can actually click on each photo. And then your clients can actually save this for later, and they can go through all of the photos as well themselves so that they have a pretty good idea of what they want to offer on the property as well. And then here we have the PDF version. So if you do want to print it, you can create the PDF. You can create a cover photo, make it into a nice book, print it, and you can bring this onto a presentation as well with you if you want to go over the comparables in person, or if you just want to mail it over or email it over to them as an attachment, then you can do that as well. It has all the same details that the other one, that the link had, just in a more PDF version. So that is a really strong tool, very quick, very easy to use. As you can see, it only took me about 5 minutes to really go through the CMA. So I would really encourage for you guys to hop on C21 Present, put in the address, put in the MLS of the property that your clients are interested in purchasing, pick the comparables, and then quickly email it right over to them. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me, Katelyn.fulton@century21.ca. Leave some comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch up with you guys soon.